Hello and welcome back to V8 Tech Works. So today we are going to continue building our admin dashboard. As you can see here in the other video, we created this sidebar here. And also if you check here, you can see there's something wrong with this sidebar here. For example, when I come to the donors page here, you can be able to see if the link it is not active, you can be able to see that icon is red and also the text is just the black color. So if I come back this homepage here, which make it an active link, you can see it's just a background. The background color here is the red one, and also the icon here is red, but it is different variation, and the text here is white. So we want this icon to be white, and also the text and the background color should be red if that link is active. So we want to make this correction because in the last video we didn't do the correction, and then we are going to proceed and be able to create this gauge here, this gauge chart here. We are going to create all this beautiful part here for the home page, and also we are going to look at our prospects right here. So let's do that. This will be very simple. So to correct here, and I saw where the problem is, and if you check here, for example, in our link here, this the first link here for the home, you'll be able to see that for our icon here, we are checking if it is active, and if it is active, then we are giving it a color of red. Or if it is, first of all, if it checks is if the active link here is equals to the admin here, which is, we actually, when we click here, we turn this link to be the admin, we make the admin link to be active. And then if you check here, you can be able to see that the icon become red, and if it is not red, then it becomes white. So we need to interchange this so that when it is active, then it becomes white, but when it is not active, then it becomes red. So this is a very simple thing. So I'm going to just change here to white, and then right here we are going to change it now to red, like that. So if I do that and then come back to the application here, you'll be able to see that now it changes, and you can see now both the icon and the text here are white, and the background is background color here is red when this link here is active. But for the others here, you can see we have not changed. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change also for the donors here. So let me check for the donors. So also this one I'm going to change here, and I'm going to change this to give it a text of white when it is active, but when it is not active, then we are going to give it a text of red, like that. Also, let's do that for the prospect down here. So for the icon here, let me just check here. For this one, you can see also the same. So I'm going to change this one to white here, and white, and if it is not active, then that means that we can change this to red, and then this is 500, like that. So as simple as that. So if I save this and then go back now to my application here, you'll be able to see that when the active link has a, like, the icon is white and also the text is white. So when also you come back to our home page here, you'll be able to see that the same is happening, and this is now how I wanted it to be, not like the other link, or the active link is just icon is red and the text is white and background color is red. So we have fixed that. And the other thing that I want to tell you is that I notice majority of those people watching this channel, they have not subscribed, and I kindly urge you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also like this video, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'd be notified when I upload the next video. So let's now get into the tutorial where we are going to create our homepage. So now let's get into the tutorial and start creating this beautiful homepage here. And one thing that I want you to notice is that this section here, or this part for the homepage, we have two sections. First of all, we have this section that holds these two charts here, and also this line chart here, and also we have this part. But also inside this part here, we have two part, which is this part here and this part here. And also for this one, we have this part we have this part and this part. So let's create those parts. Let me open now the admin here, which is our home page. So like that, and then here I'm going to create first of all. So here I'm going to create first of all two sections. So the first section and then the second section, like that. So we have these two sections. So the first section here represent this section here, and the second represent this. So we are going first of all to make sure that we style this. So let's do that. So for this one, we are going to have here we are going to style it from here. So a class name, we are going to give it a display of recs because we are going to display them side by side. We are going to have a justify to be between here. And the other thing is we are going to have a height here. And this height, we are going to give it a height of 100 VH, like that. So now this part here also, let me first of all continue styling it here. So this one, let's give it a class name. And for this one, we are going to have a flex, and because inside here also we have several section, so we are going to display them vertically. So this means that this section here, we have this part here and this part which we have displayed vertically. That means that we need to display them vertically, and that's why we display flex and flex column. So inside here now I have another div. So we have two divs. So these divs hold the charts, and also we have this div or a section that holds the line chart or just line chart. So inside here now, let us also make sure that we at least style this part here. So this is the section that holds these two charts here. Let me show you these two charts here. So let's make sure that we now style this part, and this one is very simple because we need to style them in horizontally, those two charts, and also we want to make sure that we wrap them. So if they touch the end, then that means that they can take the space that is on at the bottom of them. So here also now we are going to create the first div here and also the second div. So these are the ones that holds the two charts here. So for the first one is a gauge chart. So let me make sure that I style this. So here we are going to give a class here. A class here should be a class name which we are going to style, and we want to give it a background color of 50 here. And also we are going to give a height here. We are going to give it a height of 100 pixels. Not actually, I should not give it like 100 pixels. Let me just remove this. We are going to just give it a margin of 30 pixels, and also we are going to give a width of 350. So 350 pixels here. Another thing that we going to give is a shadow. So the shadow here, and we are going to give a extra large shadow. So the other thing here also, let me just add the height. So we are going to have the height here. So for this one, we are going to give it a height of 300 pixels. So 300 pixels, like that. So this one, the styling here, I'm going to copy it also for this other part, because these cards are identical. That holds now our two charts. So if I do that and come back to my application here, you'll be able to see now we have these two cards here, and this one will be able to hold now our gauge chart. So let's continue. So let's now be able to go to MUI charts, so material UI charts. So if I go back here, and maybe let me just go to the pie chart here. But for here, I'm going to look for the gauge one. So for the gauge here, and I'm going to open the gauge. So I have seen gauge here. So let me click on it, and here we can be able to see how the gauge chart looks like. But right here, what I want is to first of all get started and this will be just simple. So here is just to install the charts first of all. So copy that, and in our text, in our application here, we are going to open the terminal like that, and then inside here I'm going to make sure that I paste this command and install the charts. So here let me navigate now to the front end like that, and let me clear here. So here I'm going to paste the command here, and then I'm going to install now the charts, material UI charts. And another thing that you need to do is that you need to install the emotion here, emotion react, and also emotion styled. Also we are going to install styled engine here and styled components, and after that now they will be able to work. But for in our case here, because we have already installed emotion react and also this one for engine styling here, we are not going to at least install them, because we installed them when we were installing data grid, material UI data grid. And let me check here if it has finished installing. So here let me also go back now to now our gauge chart. So where is our gauge chart? Is just here, and see how to use it. So I'm going to go to the gauge chart, and you can see other charts here that you can use. So I'm going to come here, and you can see how now easy you can be able to create the gauge chart. You only need to import it. So I'm going to copy this and import it, and also make sure that you add it here where you want to use it. So I'm going to just paste it here, although it has not finished installing. And the other thing is I'm going to copy this now, this gauge chart here, and place it where I want to display the gauge chart. So copy that, and then you can come here. I want to display it here. I'm going to just paste it here, and also let me make sure that I format my code like that. Still here formatting, and also here you can see it has not installed. And the other thing that you can do, you can learn about this documentation. You can see other gauges that you can create, for example this gauge here, and you can see we have gauge grasses here, or gauge classes. And also you can see other variation that you can create. For example this one, you can see how you can be able to style it and give it the color that you want, additional element using the gauge container. Like you can be able to see all this. The one looks like a speedometer, and also you can see like the API here. So this is how you can be able to create your gauge chart and display the information using it. So let's see if it has finished installing. So I think it's still running. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create the other one here. Let's continue and create the second chart. So this one we are going to create it from scratch. So let me just come here, and you see this one here. This is one that we are going to create it. So this one is still loading. I think we have not installed the installation for the MUI or material chart has not finished. So what we are going to do is that actually the other thing that I noticed is that in the gauge chart here we need to have also if you check here, you can be able to see that we have this name here. So we need first of all to make sure that we add another div inside here, and this div, so let's have this div here. So a div, let me create it here, a div here, and this div here will be able to hold all of will be able to hold for example here you can see we have this div here, and we are going to give it a height. So let me just add a height here. So the class name, and then here we can give it the height here. We are going to give it a height of 200 pixels, and also we are going to give a width of 200 pixels like that. And then after that now I can be able to paste this gauge here. After that now inside also this gauge here container, we can add now the heading. So we have a heading 2 here. You can see this one is prospects. So prospects like that, and let us style this heading here. So class name, and then here we can be able to add, for example, we want the font size to be semi-bold, here, and also we are going to give the text different font size. So for this one we are going to give 18 pixels, and the other thing is we need to give a margin here to be 40 pixels also. This one is the margin. So let's see how it looks like if it has finished installing also. So let's do that and then come back to our project here, and already now you can be able to see that already has been displayed here. So make sure you do that, and now we need to create the other div here. So, and this chart here we are creating it from scratch. So inside here I need to have another div, and for this one we are going to give it first of all the height. So the class name here, let's specify the height, which is 200 pixels. Also the width here, the width should be 200 pixels, like that. We are going to have a margin of 30 pixels, and also we are going to give it now the border. So the border, we are going to give it a border of 20 pixels, so a thick border, and we are going to specify which color it is. So our border here is red, and we are going to give it a variation of 400, and then we need to specify that the border here is solid, and then the other thing is that we need to add rounded to be full, like that, so that we can create a perfect circle. So if you do that and come back here, you'll be able to see that we have a perfect circle, and that's what we wanted to do. If for example you didn't add the rounded full here and you added something like rounded MD, let's see how it will look like. So you can see this one makes a perfect square. So for the rounded, if you want to make a circle, you just use rounded full, and then inside here we need to now to create now the somewhere that they can be able to display now the information. So we are going to add another div inside here. For this one we are going to have a class name, and for this class name the styling will give it a flex. We give the items to be center. We are going to give a justify content to be center also, and the other thing that we are going to do is that we are going to give a padding of or the margin, to have a margin of 30 pixels. So 30 pixels, like that. And then after that, now we are going to have a heading. So heading 2 here, and the heading is just, we can copy from in here. So let's see where we had the heading. So let me copy this heading 2, and then I can be able to at least paste it here, like that. And this one is donors, actually, or just 100, or this one will be able to show the inside here. For example, we are going to give it 100 donors, and here I'm going to paste also this, and now this one will be donors. It will not be prospects, so donors, like that. So if I just save this here, so let me format my code like that, and then let's save this, and when I come back here to my project here, you can be able to see that we have now this full circle here, and we have donors here. So now we have left with the S part here, where we need to add this line chart here, of which is very simple to add. So after here, now we need to, inside here we have this div where we need to add now the line chart. So this line chart, we can go back to our material UI and see how we can be able to add now the line chart. So for the line chart, you can go here to lines chart, and then you can see lines overview here. So let's do that. So can see different lines that you can use. For example, basic one here, data format, you can be able to see how you display the data, and you can see several here. And also for this one here, you can see it is a line chart. You can see others here, but the one that I want to use is down here, this one. And what we can do is, let me first of all make sure that I copy it. So this one line chart. So let me first of all make sure that I import right here. So let me see how I can copy I can import it. So because I cannot be able to see how to copy it, what I'm going to or how to import it, what I'm going to do right here is very simple. I'm going to import it manually. So let me come up here, and for this one I'm going to import now. I'm going to import line chart from, now I'm going to import it from MUI and then charts and then line chart. Let me see here if we can get the line chart here. So because we can be able to just add here line chart. So line chart like that. Yeah, you can be able to see it here. And then after that, now let's come here to this div and be able to add it. So let me copy the line chart here like that, and then we are going to paste it here inside here like that, and then we can be able to format. So let's format this and save that. If I go back to my application here, we need to see that line chart here, or that graph here. So let me reload here, and after that we need to see it here, and it is reloading. So let's see. So also you can learn more about this. You can see also these other graphs here that are for scattered here, and many others here. But for this one that we are using, you can be able to just use this simple line chart here, but these configurations that you need to do. For example, you can see they have changed the height, margin, and also things like grid here. So this one is taking time. So what we are going to do is that we are going to continue as it is loading, and then we'll come back here and see our line chart. So let's go back. Let's go now to this other part here that holds the or this part here that holds this part that has a logout here, and has the recent donors, and this pie chart here. So let's go to this part here and create now the other part. So for this one here, we are going to make sure that we style this. So first of all, we are going to give it display flex, and also because we are going to display them vertically, we are going to give it a flex of column, or flex direction to be column. We are going to also add a background color to be gray, a variation of it. We are going to give a margin here to be 20 pixels, and we are going to give a height. I'm going to give a height of 700 pixels, so 700 pixels. I'm going to give the width here should be having a width of 300 pixels, 300 pixels. So let me just come back here, and we can be able to just use pixels. And the last thing that I need to do is to add a shadow to be extra large like that. So let me save this and go back to my application and see if it has finished loading. And yeah, you can see here it has finished loading, and here we have this part here for the one that we are going to display the logout, the recent donors, and also the pie chart. So now the other part that we need to create inside here is the one for logout. So this one is a simple one. So I'm going to have a div here, and then we can just have a class name here for styling. Need to have a class name here. We are going to display flex, and I think this one we can give items to be center here. And then let's see what we are going to display here. If I come back here, I'm going to see that we have the icon and the logout text. So let's do that. So for this one, I'm going to import the icon from React icons. So I'm going to import now let me import file user from now React icons, and then /fa like that. So like that, and then now let's use that icon here. So let's do that. So file user, here like that, and then now we can have a span or like that, and then that says logout like that. And then when I save this, then this means that now we can be able to display the information here, and you can see the information is not displayed the way we want. So I'm going to change this to be logout like that, and also I'm going to give it like justify to be center also. So justify center here, and we can give a margin top of, let's say, something like 30 pixels like that. Let's see if this will work then. So if I do that, you can be able to see that it is still here. We need to give it at least now a styling. We can give a margin left of something like 10 pixels, and we can give it a font of semi bold for this text. So semi bold here. So let me add the text here. So semi bold like that, and when I save that and then come back here, you'll be able to see that we have that. For this one, we can also be able to add the cursor to be pointer, so that you can be able to know that it is clickable. So cursor to be pointer like that. I think that's now good. I think, yeah, if you come here, you'll be able to see that your mouse will change to cursor. So now the other thing that we need to change here is the other part here, that we can add now the recent, or what we are calling the recent donors. So I'm going to create another div here. So let's style this div. So for this one here, I'm going to add a class name, and to be able to style this. So for the class name here like that, and this one we are going to give it just a margin to be having a margin of 40 pixels like that. And then we are inside here, we need to have a heading. So heading 2, we are going to give this to be recent donors like that. Then give it a class name. So a class name, let's give a font to be bold, to just be bold like that. And then the other thing that we need to add here is now the recent donors here using the ordered list. So this will be just simple here. So let me copy the names. So I can be able to copy names from this here. So for this one, copy James here. So if I copy that and paste it here like that, we are going to also add the others. So after James here, we have the Joel. So copy out of it. So I'm going to copy Joel here. We are going to also copy the others. So for the James here also, I actually made sure that I just recycled the name. So I'm going to just leave it at that, because it's just a display of the data, and let's see how it looks like. So if I come here, you'll be able to see that after sometimes it should have a, or we need to have like that name here. So I think I have not saved. So yeah, if I save now, you'll be able to see that we have this name here. So for this one, I can also be able to see that this we have pressed the logout here. So I'm going to change that. So for this one, I'm not going to add let me just come here and remove this justify content to be maybe, let me just change also this should be center, okay, but this one we are going to change. First of all, it should be just a margin, and here we can give a margin 20 like that. I think this will be okay. Yeah, I think there pressing there is a good thing. So here also we are going now to be able to have now the pie chart now. So to add the pie chart, you need to go to this part here, and for the pie chart you can be able to see the overview of all the pie chart that you can create. So let's do that, and here you can be able to see different pie chart, but the pie chart that I want to use actually is this on down here. So I cannot be able to see the pie chart that I want here. So this one, so first of all, let me make sure that I actually have seen it. So this is the pie chart that I want to use, but for this pie chart here, you can be able to see that it's different from this one, and I'm going to add some configuration so that it will look like this one. So let's do that. First of all, let me copy the importation here. Let us import this. So I'm going to just come up here and make sure that I import this pie chart here. And the other thing that I want now is to add it down here. So for this pie chart here, we can be able to copy it. So copy this pie chart here and paste it where you want to use it. So let's see here, like that. And then when you paste it here, so there are several things that you need to add here. So for in my case, I need to have a data, and you can see here, this is where you need to place the data, because if you don't have data, it won't be able to display anything. So let me now format the code also, again using Prettier. And when I come back now to my application here, you'll be able to see after it loads, it won't show anything. So you can see no data to display. So I need to add the data, and fortunately I had already prepared the data. So let us copy this data inside here. So we need to copy this data here. I had already created that data, and let me make sure that I paste it inside here. When you start now fetching the data from a backend, we are going to display real data from the database. We are not going to hard code any data here. So after this now, if I save this and come back to my project here, you can be able to see that we have this part here, and already you can be able to see also it doesn't look like the one that we have here. So this one looks different. So let's start by adding some configurations here. So the first thing that you need to create here, we are going to give this inner radius to be 50. We are going to give this here to be 70, and then let us see the outer radius to be 70, the inner radius should be 50. So if I do that, let's come here and be able to see that we are able to actually display it in that way here. So the other thing that I want to do is that I want to remove the margin that I here, because I think this affects now our pie chart. So for this one for this one here, we need to change this to be, let's say, top, like that, and then save that. If I save that, then you can see here, let me just add maybe if the margin here, and we can add the margin to be around 20, I think. So I think that also makes sense, or even we can give it like 10. So I think this yeah, you can see it is paving a way for this pie chart to be looking good. Also, what I can do is that I can place it at the center. So what I'm going to do is to add flex. I'm going to add items to be center, so like that, and also justify should be center also here. So if I save that, and then yeah, I think should not add that here. Okay, so I can just add here flex column. So let me see this one, how it will look like. So yeah, I think this is looks nice. So let us leave it like that. So now the other thing that I want to create now is our prospect right here, and this one actually will be simple because I'll just actually create it like the way I created the donors, and that means that I can copy everything from the donors and paste it in the prospect. So I'm going to just come here to the donors, and the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy everything. So let me copy everything like that, and then I'm going to come here to the prospects, and I'm going to paste everything here. I'm going to change this now. First of all, I'm going to change this now to prospects because they are the same. So I'm going to create to just hold Control Shift and then L to select everything that has a name donors, and then I'm going to change it to prospects or prospect here. So it was prospect, or even I can be able to, I can just change to prospect like that. And let's see now. So I think we have changed even here. Yeah, you can see we have changed this. Also for the name here, I think we changed, yeah, to the prospect. So if I come back here to my prospect here, let's see, then let's come here and also be able to click here and see if our prospect changes, but I think we have not actually we saved the here. So let's see what the problem is. So I think there's a problem, and that because I think we have actually we can display the information here. So we have our information here, and then this one also we need to change to new prospect, actually remove it totally because we don't have to add prospects. So like that. And then the other thing is we need to change now the data. So changing the data here, we need to change the data to be having the data of the donors for the prospect, sorry. So I'm going to copy this and then paste it here, remove the columns, and also we are going to remove the columns and the rows. So let me just select everything here from the rows, and then the rows here. So let me paste inside everything here, and then if I save that and then come back here, you'll be able to see that the data has changed. And I think I don't know why this actually I've done a mistake. So for this one, I want to have here as all prospects. So I'm going to copy from the donors here this heading 1 here, and this one now we are going to change it to all prospects. So let me paste it inside here and change this to all prospects here. So let's change this, so prospects like that, and then I can save that, and then let's see how it looks like. So yeah, you can see now all the prospect we are going to approve here if we want to approve, and then we have our donors right here, and then we are going to have a home here. So in the next video we are going to continue and build where we can be able to show the donors detail page and also the new donors page, and we are going to create a detailed page for the prospect and be able to approve. After that, now we are going to start integration, and then we'll be over with our project. So don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to this YouTube channel, and turn on the notification bell, and then I'm going to see you on the other video. So have a great day. See you on the next video.